Yes, now bless now, people. Don't forget to rest now. Des Rocksteady at King of the Pit TV, signing in and signing out. We just listened to the Beach Bunny record entitled Emotional Creature. It was recommended on Patreon by my friend John. Thank you very much, John. We've had a couple of Beach Bunny records on as of recent. I think the one we had last time came out prior to this. Am I right or wrong in saying that? I don't know which one came before the other, to be honest with you. But with that being said, Emotional Creature has 12 songs. 2 of them being very, very short. One of them being like an instrumental interlude. The other having lyrical content. It was a song, but with it being 1 minute 10, you know, I would argue, just for the sake of it, it might as well be a 10-track record as opposed to a 12, you know, because we compiled the shorter ones in with the ones that came after. Production is okay. I reckon it's a very clean production. It's a very good production. It's definitely an expensive production as far as the sound engineering is concerned. But I don't think the sound engineering... I rarely say this, but I don't think the sound engineering matched this band well. Because I feel there was an overt compression of the dynamic, and don't get me wrong, you could say half of that was the songwriting and the structuring of the songwriting, but I've not experienced this with Beach Bunny before. It felt like the chorus sections and the main hooks weren't elevated the way they should have been. And you can say, well, maybe they didn't want that. Bruh, trust me, these lot know how to write a fantastic song. There's no way they wouldn't want elevation of them great hooks. No flipping way. That's songwriting 101. Don't bore us, get to the chorus, man. And Beach Bunny are fantastic on that. Now, whilst I'm on the topic, the songwriting is pristine. Gorgeous songwriting. Absolutely adore it. Fantastic talent within both the lyrical content, the phrasing, the melodies, the structuring of the songs. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Love it. Absolutely love it. My favourite song was on the end, Love Song. Which probably, not a controversial statement, but, you know, a less than popular one. Because there's a lot of good music on here, and Love Song wasn't, you know, it didn't have the standout character, but I just thought as far as it being a great song, it was just a great song. It was a great song. Great energy. It all came together just spot on. You know, the whole space theme that runs through it, I'm not too fussed on that. I mean, it's ironic because I've done a couple of numbers about space and stuff, metaphorically speaking, and I understand where it holds its place, but an entire concept based upon that, you know, I'd like something a little more organic, just a little more like, I'm a human being, and I love you, and you don't like me, I'm going to cry, which tends to be the vibe, right, for acts like this, you know, emotional, and more in connection to a younger market, you know, more in connection to a younger market, but... With that being said, I'm an older man, and this band still connects with me incredibly well. So it's a real... I just want to give an incredible props to this band and their way of writing music. Really good, really good. Guitar work was good. There was a fair bit of Britpop-esque chord work alongside lead guitar stuff going on, in my personal opinion. A lot of stuff sounding like this, or at least the best of guitar bands who were writing songs like this were getting into the charts and onto radio music in the 2000s, if not the 90s. Like, they were present in this day and age. Now, people just... There's free flipping songwriters, and then they just write flipping, you know, mainstream fodder for faces of brands, i.e., you know, pop artists. That's it nowadays. You're just force-fed, mind-numbing shite. But this, you know, had some reminiscence of some of the guitar rock bands that were, you know, touching the radio every once in a while, back in the day, at least in the UK, you know. Drumming was good. The production on the drum kit was nice. I liked it a lot. The hi-hat in particular was tasty. What more needs to be said? I'm not going to rate this out of 10 because I can't remember what I rated the last record. But I will deduct 0.5 from what I gave the rating of the last one. I did prefer the last record. I thought it had a little more of an upbeat sound to it. I thought the production served it a little bit better. But the band doesn't miss. The band does not miss. The band does not miss. And I want to give thanks to John for having me listen to this, because obviously I came into this listen through in not the best state of mind, and sometimes I have to preemptively make that statement because sometimes I just approach music through the lens of negativity, and then the people who recommended it just been like, fucking hell, you destroyed that. What was all that about? And it's like, well, maybe a disclaimer that you do see the world through, some emotional value. And so that was to be explained prior. But by the end of this record, I was absolutely in love with some of the sounds I had heard. It really uplifted me and, gave me a kick up the arse. So that was really good. That was Emotional Creature. I'm signing out on that one. Till next time, peace.